Okay, so for today's lesson, we're going to need to think back to geometry for a little bit. When we have two parallel lines, and then we have a line going through them, that's a transversal. So a couple rules we need to remember about transversals with these angles that fall inside of them. 2 and 3 are called alternate interior angles, and alternate interior angles are congruent. So 1 will have the same measure as 4, 2 will have the same measure as 3. That's the first thing we need to remember. The next thing is that if I have these two angles, 2 and 4, those are called same side interior angles. And those ones are supplementary, means that they add to 180. So 2 plus 4 equals 180. 1 plus 3 equals 180. All right, so now let's take a look at example 7, which, skip this over. So this is example 7. So they're talking about a boat that starts at point A, then goes to point B, then C, and then back. And they give you the picture. So we need to figure out, they want to know how long was the total distance traveled, which is essentially the perimeter, right? Because the total distance will be from here to here to here to here. So we really just need to find sides A and side C. But we only know one of the angles. So we need to figure out one of these other two angles. But what I want you to see is that the reason they're giving us bearings is because they're talking about north and south, which means all of our longitudinal lines that are north and south, they're going to be parallel to each other. So then we can use what we just remembered from geometry. So if they're giving us 40 degrees, that means that's essentially this angle right here. They're saying, or I'll redraw it. I have a transversal going down like this. They're saying this is 40, and I want to know angle C, which is right here. So that means this one's 40 as well, because they're alternate interior angles. So that's 40. So once I know two of the angles, now I can know the third. I can just add them up and subtract them from 180, right? So 180 minus 52 minus 40, I get 88. So now I know all the angles and one of the sides, so I can just do my law of sines proportions to figure out the rest. So let's do side C first. So the sine of angle C, which is 40, over C equals the sine of 88. I'm using this because I have the side over 8. So if we want to put this in our calculators, I'm multiplying these two, dividing by the sine of 88. So 8 times the sine of 40 divided by the sine of 88. So I get C equals 5.15. So for the next one, let's do, what is it? We're going to do A. So the sine of 52 over A equals the sine of 88 over 8. Again, if you wanted to use C and what you just solved, it will work, but if you got C wrong, then your answer for A will be wrong. So I recommend using the numbers that have been given to you. So let's put this in. What is it going to be? 8 times the sine of 52 divided by the sine of 88, 6.31. And so they want to know the total distance traveled. So I'm going to do A plus B plus C. So I'm going to do 6.31 plus 5.15 plus 8. And I get 19.46, and I believe that's kilometers, and that's the total distance traveled.